Welcome. Have you noticed that nothing has consequences anymore? You know, you can fail miserably and publicly and on a big global stage and, you know, get rewarded for it, or, you know, like just make money on the other end of it. Act like nothing happened and just keep moving forward. And, you know, you spend 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, or weeks explaining it and calling it actually brave and an experience. While we all just look and nod and say, okay, well, if he said it, then I guess it's okay. And he's pretty rich, so, you know, he must be right. He must be. No one's ashamed. No one learns anything. We just smile and wave and say, he's grown. As a person, he's grown. Or they've got enough money to sweep it under the rug, call it a conspiracy, move forward. I figure what I'm talking about with that one in particular. Anyway. But we don't learn. No consequences are ever given. No one cares. No one cares. And nowhere is that more obvious than the NFL. The NFL is the poster child for that kind of thinking. A league where you can literally burn down a franchise, burn down everything it stood for ever, fire everyone, change the culture, change the quarterback, change the players, change the city, and still you're allowed to play professionally the next year, every year, forever, until you stop making the NFL money, which will never ever happen. You have players like, or teams, like the Cleveland Browns, who are the epitome of failure, second to another team, which I'll be talking about in literally 2 minutes. The Cleveland Browns, they trade for Deshaun Watson. They trade everything they have for Deshaun Watson. They trade their soul. They lose their soul. They have sold it. It is currently on the black market right now. I just saw Jimmy Haslam's soul on the black market to get Deshaun Watson because they think he's going to save them. They trade Baker Mayfield, who heart and soul player. They find out, well, he's actually not that good anymore, and he actually doesn't want to play anymore. He kind of just wanted it for the bag. You waste away Myles Garrett, and that's pretty much it. That's all the Cleveland Browns have. But you waste away Myles Garrett, prime beast, just so you could play with the idea of actually having a quarterback. Or you could be the Broncos. You trade for Russell Wilson. You give a lot for Russell Wilson. You think he's going to save you. He doesn't. They find out very quickly that he is no good. System quarterback 101, Russell Wilson. Cut bait. Sean Payton comes in there, looks at Russell Wilson, says, you are never going to be the quarterback of my team. You'll have maybe 1 year and you're done. Gets rid of him, hates him publicly, cuts him publicly, tells him he's shit publicly, and now they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Then you've got the New York Jets, who will always be shit, the epitome of dumpster fire. Get Aaron Rodgers, pair him with a young coach, a young, good defense from the year before. Think that these two things together are going to make history. They're going to make us finally something. 3 snaps in, Achilles torn, completely snapped. Goodbye. You will never be happy, New York Jets. And you know that. The best part about sports is that, you know, we fans of shit teams and perpetually shit teams will renew their dreams, renew their passions, and when September rolls around, they'll have this delusion, this glimmer of hope that this year will be different. We won't be shit anymore. We'll be good. We'll finally be good. Something will happen. It will work. The NFL comes in and says, guys, do you remember? Say the line. Say the line. It's not our year. We're still shit. We're still a dumpster fire, and we always will be. Now, let's talk about my favourite day of the year, Black Monday. The annual satanic ritual, the annual humiliation ritual that show grown men in their $6,000 suits, $4,000 fleeces, escorted out of their corporate sports headquarters by Joe Blow security guards who make $15 an hour. It's beautiful. I love it. It's high stakes, public firing squad executions where, the owners pretend that they didn't know that this was going to happen in September. They didn't know that this was going to happen in October, December. And they stand at their little podium looking so sad and like they've just lost their child in a fiery wreck, saying, they're reevaluating the culture. Things weren't aligned. They just, they wish it could have been better, and they wish that things could have been different, but it was never going to be different. It was never going to be different. It's the same shit every year. We see crap teams hire crap coaches thinking things are going to be different, and they're never different. They're always the same. It's always cyclical. It's always the same shit. The same TV show reruns every single year. Now this year we've got the Raiders hiring Pete Carroll, a 74-year-old start again. Geriatric. Okay, let's start. Ready? This year, we've got the Raiders hiring Pete Carroll, a 74-year-old geriatric. Okay, let's start. Okay. This year, we've got the Raiders hiring Pete Carroll, a 74-year-old geriatric who thinks that, chewing gum and being a cool grandpa is a personality trait or a coaching style where it gets you a 3-14 season and an absolute shitfire organization now, where you've got Geno Smith at quarterback, who I don't think will see the field ever again. And so many culture issues now. And they fired him for those culture issues, where you'd think, Pete Carroll, culture issues, I wouldn't think those two things go together. But, when you're a man who's seen all two world wars, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, every single war ever in existence, talking to 22-year-olds who communicate in TikTok languages, TikTok sounds, it was never going to work. It was never going to work. It was the Raiders, I don't know. What were they trying to do? I don't know what they were trying to do. They were trying to escape maybe ageist claims, or, it was proper elder abuse just to get some ratings. Worked for maybe 2 weeks, and then everyone figured out that, this is not good. They're just taking advantage of this poor old man who should be nowhere near a sideline at this stage of his life. You've got the Browns, who fired Kevin Stefanski for alignment issues because Stefanski never wanted Shedeur Sanders ever. He looks like a man who is just constantly just figuring out or calculating how fast it'll take him to get to the airport, to get to the next game. Every single week he knew what was going to happen. At the start of the year, at the end of the year, he knew it. And I don't blame him. Why would you want to coach the Browns? They are a factory of sadness, an absolute factory of sadness. Then you've got the Bills firing Sean McDermott. Yeah, the Bills, what do you want to say about the Bills? They do the same thing every year. They get everyone's hopes up. They think that this is going to be different. This year's going to be different. We will not fail this year. And they fail. More spectacularly, every single year they fail. And this was you call it a reset firing, where it's my favourite one. It's my favourite. The reset firings are my favourite ones. And because you got to fire a good coach because the ownership is getting tired of the same shit happening every year. You've got my favourite owner of all time, Terry Pagula, standing up at the press conference, who's worth $7 billion, by the way, $7 billion, saying that some players were only drafted by Sean McDermott, that's why they failed. We didn't want Keon Coleman, that was Sean McDermott. Please. He is my favourite owner. He just will throw everyone under the bus. I love it. You know, and they've got now Joe Brady, who, well, he was probably the one that actually wanted to trade for Keon Coleman. So, you know, yeah, well, they're going to be crap again next year. We all know it. And I mean, they're not going to be crap. They'll just fall short again, as they always do. We've got Brian Callahan, who I don't give a shit about, to be honest with you. I could not care no one even remembers Brian Callahan being in the NFL, so, you know, he would be the timing wasn't right firing because he probably should never be a coach because he doesn't know how to be a coach. So that's pretty much it. I couldn't believe that he was hired. And when he got fired, I thought it would be a lot sooner than it was. It was very soon. It should have been week 2, easily. And then, especially, we've got the Gannon firing. Jonathan Gannon is my favourite coach of all time. He deserves his own segment. He's got to be the most puzzling coach in NFL history. You just look at him. You put all the coaches in the NFL, right? You put them all in a room. You get a random person off the street and you walk him in, you say, which one got fired? 99 out of 100 people will point to Jonathan Gannon because he looks like he doesn't look like a coach. He's a man that he'll talk to you like he's just done a 3-day retreat on empowerment and, you know, male responsibility. I don't know, but like he just looks like one of those, just, I don't know, just those middle-aged, just doesn't know what to do with his life, wants to be a leader, doesn't look like a leader, doesn't sound like a leader, just, I don't know. He was yelling, I remember he was yelling about, you know, the team having a fire in their gut, you know, about coming to practice or something like that. How did you get the practice? Remember, what was that thing? And it was just like, you just knew. But besides that and the other video, you knew that this guy was not long for the NFL. He was never going to be good. He was never going to be good. To me, coaches are like a human shield almost. They will shield all the blame. The quarterback is their insurance claim, where they're not going to get blamed for it, but as soon as it starts becoming a problem and it doesn't cost them a lot, they'll file it, or they'll claim it, they'll cut it, they'll move on. And the owner is just the person who just sits back and relaxes and just takes in all the money. Every time the building burns down, files his insurance claim, restarts, new culture, new coach, new quarterback, new everything, and we move on. Guys, I completely forgot about the Tomlin and Harbaugh firing. I don't know how. I had it in my notes and I must have just glossed over it. But yeah, that was that was just something that you can kind of see in if you're a normal person that's not really in the NFL, and you saw all the facts of those two coaches, you could kind of see Tomlin getting fired because it was just consistent mediocrity. But, you know, you never actually think it's going to happen, especially with the Steelers, but it did happen. And that was something that I think the NFL pushed that agenda to the Steelers, because it's fair to say that the NFL makes more money if the Steelers are good, not if they're just consistently mediocre. So I think that was a slip that maybe Goodell kind of gave to Rooney and the other Steelers people in the organization, and just said, hey, like, you get rid of Tomlin, maybe we can help you out. But they get rid of Tomlin and they get Mike McCarthy. Like, I don't know. It's a bit of the vibes are a bit, you look at the name, you think, well, that's not really, it's not flashy. It's the furthest thing from flashy. But it's interesting to say the least, because his initial press conference is fucking immaculate, like for pure heart and soul, which I like to see in a coach. But going from Tomlin to McCarthy is kind of like, I don't know, it's not really a sideways move. And Harbaugh, this one I would never actually thought was going to happen, to be honest. I didn't think they were actually going to fire him. A lot of the players seem really upset over Harbaugh and Tomlin too being fired. Well, actually, let's go back, because Tomlin didn't get fired. He stepped down, but you know what was going to happen, guys. He was going to get got, I think, regardless. But yeah, Harbaugh actually getting fired is crazy to me, to be honest. Like, I don't think he deserved to get fired. I think he was a really good coach. Yes, he did fall short often in the biggest kind of stages, and you know, I guess Lamar Jackson not being available this year, not really his fault. Though people think it is his fault for some reason. To me, it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be. It's not really his fault that Lamar Jackson wasn't ready to play or kept getting injured. I like my Lamar Jackson. I think he's a great quarterback, but John Harbaugh's not the scapegoat, and that's the thing. These coaches are just human shields in the NFL, and the quarterbacks are just the insurance claims. It's so obvious. It's hard to fire the quarterback. It's easy to fire the coach. It's so easy, and it's just, like, that's pretty much what happened. Like, it was a crappy year. Jackson was getting hurt, and the vibe was just down, and obviously them not making the playoffs was just shit too, and the way they didn't make it was awful. So, yeah, anyway, look, I think both those guys, I do understand why they got, but really, I don't think they deserve to get got. And I think the NFL is a big part to play in those firings. So anyway, that's just an editorial note, as the professionals would say. But yeah, okay. And with those insurance claims comes trades, the splashy moves, the big moves that teams make to plug a hole or show that they're seriously gonna reset, rebuild restart the whole team, the whole franchise. And the Micah Parsons liquidation was, one of the most, I'd say, honest thing that Jerry Jones has ever done in his life. Except for the time that he decided to charge $20 for a bottle of water, which is my favourite thing of all time. It wasn't a football move. It wasn't a cap move. It wasn't a structural move. It was a ego move. It was a chicken move where they were both wanting two different things, and Micah said, "You're not going to blink," and Jerry Jones is like, "I'm going to blink so fucking hard, you're going to get traded." And he got traded. And he looked at this generational talent, a man who can just breathe on a quarterback and he's going to feel the pressure. He's going to fumble the ball, and said, "You're not worth it. You're not worth my time. You should be listening to me. Whatever I say, you must do. So I'm going to trade you away. I'm going to liquidate you for draft picks and my tax write-offs." And he said, "Go to Green Bay. Go to one of our rivals. Go to a team who embarrassed us a couple of years ago. Go. Leave. I don't care. And in return, we're going to get some picks and we're going to get Kenny Clark." Which is just what an insane man would do. That's why you've got to love Jerry Jones. You've got to cherish Jerry Jones, because he's not long for this earth. You got to cherish him. He's a man that does not care about anything but himself and his own greed. And those are the type of people that we need in the NFL, because that's what keeps the NFL going. And look at the Cowboys now. Look at them now. We just watch this team fail week in and week out on defense alone. And they're a team that, I don't even know what we're going to say. They are the stereotypical hedge fund that, has their money and waves it around and shows to the rest of the league that we're so much better than you because look at all this money that we've got. But yet, I don't even know. When's the last time they made an NFC championship? Before I was born. So, yeah. And you've got that. You've got the team that are so egotistical that they won't even pay their good players or their generational players. Right? Then you've got the crypto bros, the crypto addicts at GMs. And again, we're going to talk about these two shit teams again. We're going to talk about the Jets and the Browns. The Jets trade Sauce Gardner. They trade Quinton Williams. The Quinton or Quinton? Let me just double check that. I should probably... Quinton. I knew it was Quinton. Stupid. Quinton Williams, Sauce Gardner for picks. Not a lot of picks. In the Williams case, it wasn't that much. For the Sauce, it was 2 firsts, and let's get real, they actually did pretty good. Actually, unintentionally, they actually did a good job on that trade. But what are they going to do with these picks? They've still got Aaron Glenn in coach, who is the worst coach in the NFL by far now. Now that all the other ones have been fired, Aaron Glenn is the worst coach by a fucking mile. And, once the sports is very much a copycat kind of system where once one team sees, and you're seeing now with the NBA trade deadline, once one team sees a major trade, they're like, oh, we got to get into this now, and then bang, 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 all these trades start happening. That was the same thing in the NFL. Once Michael got moved, everyone's like, all right, what are we going to do? Let's stockpile all these trades, all these draft picks, because we're shit, and it makes us look good. It makes us look smart. Let's trade away people and trades at 3 a.m. so no one knows what we're doing until they wake up and they can't even comprehend what we've just done, and we just move on. And let's keep trading picks, trading for picks, trading away players for picks, and keep finishing 4-13, 4-15, 2-15, whatever, every single year. And it's just, it makes it boring, really, because you're never going to be good. You're trading away picks for nothing. They're playing Madden. They're playing fantasy football with people. And now we've got... Let's talk about the actual season that was, really, which was a fucking insane season. You know, you've got the Bears, who... I don't have a vested interest in the Bears, but when I was watching the Bears, I could feel their hairs just fall out. Like, it's so immensely stressful for a team that really hurts their fans a lot. But my God, they were fun to watch. And, you know, Sundays in Chicago, the Chicago area, ambulances, paramedics were on alert because there was at least 50 to 100 cardiovascular events reported every single Sunday. Look it up. That's a fact. Because they were just killing their fans. They were killing their fans. But they found a way. Every single week they found a way. They were playing football like a Hurt Locker trying to defuse a bomb. Like, it was just with not even just trying to defuse, but trying to defuse a bomb with a toothpick, blindfolded, with your left hand. And you got Caleb Williams running around for his life, and the fans watching that, thinking he's gonna throw a touchdown, and he did. And I was like, it doesn't matter how far he runs, he's just going to throw it. He's going to bomb it. And, yeah, it was incredible year. Now we've got the... And then we've got the Patriots, who unfortunately are back in our lives, and they're probably here to stay for a long time. And it hurts us all that they're back. It's not fair. They can't keep getting away with it. You know, there's certain media members are desperate to tell you that the culture is back. It's back. Bill and Tom is now Mike and Drake. Drake and Mike. Drake and Josh, really. Josh McDaniel. Anyway, the schedule this year was just tailored to bring this team back. And why is that? Why would the NFL make it like that? What did they know? What do they gain? What does Robert Kraft have on the NFL? We will investigate that further on another episode. They were gifted. It was like every week they had a gift card to a spa resort. You know, and the league said, "Here, go have Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, and go have Vikings and their fucking quarterback, who I can't remember his shit name now. Sorry, but, you know, no good. Go have the Jets twice a year, which, you know, they can't help, but it doesn't, you know, and the Dolphins, when they're fucking awful. Like, there's got to be some NFL gains from the Patriots being good again. That's all we can really pin it down to, is there's something for the NFL's benefit for the Patriots. Has to be. The Bills, another team that I want to talk about quickly because they're just so disappointing. The Bills are just a expensive therapy session. You pay so much money, and it will cost you so much money in the other end of it, because not even just money, it'll cost you physically, emotionally, and mentally if you're a Bills fan. It's just every year it's something different. It's something different every single year. It's the Chiefs over time. It's the Chiefs not spotting the ball where it's supposed to. It's this year the fumble at the end of the first half. It's just being so close and so far, and it's always someone else's fault. It's always someone else's fault with Buffalo. It's the kicker, it's the refs, it's the wind, it's the stars and the moon, it's everything. It's everything, but it's not Buffalo. I think that some teams are born with bad luck in their DNA. And the Buffalo Bills are just pure bad luck. It's so sad. And it's sad watching, Josh Allen try and carry a city that is just so depressed. He's just so close to the edge, so close to falling off the edge, that one more failure like this and it will be the end of Buffalo City as a whole. It will just cease to exist. The Cowboys were a team that played in the 2025 and 2026 season. That's pretty much all you can say about the Cowboys this year. They're a team that played. The offense, actually, let's reframe that. The Cowboys offense was a team that played in the 2025-2026 NFL season. The defense, I don't think they even existed. I think the defense never existed. It was a bit of a Mandela effect, potentially. I don't remember ever seeing them on the field. I think it was just 11 or nothing every time. I've never seen a defense just be so non-existent in every aspect. The pass rush was, I don't even think it was there. It was non-existent. The secondary was like, I don't even know. It wasn't there either. Like, you couldn't watch that team and take anything but the offense. The offense was just so electric and so good that, God, if they had anything at defense, any scent of life, any player, they may have actually done something. And losing Parsons doesn't really help. But yeah, it was awful. The Cowboys are just straight up awful this year. And now my favorite headline, or my favorite team of the 25-26 season, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs. The Chiefs. I was one of many people who preyed on their downfall for years. And we all thought, and I thought too, the Chiefs, they're just a dynasty that don't end. They won't end. And they don't end in big explosions. They fade. They fade away like a has-been Vegas residency singer that just goes into the shadows and takes a deal and just stays there and never leaves. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes is still the man. He's still the king. He's still like a GOAT. But this year he looked really vulnerable. But I wouldn't say his fault. The team around him was awful. A terrible team, terrible moves, trying to hold on to a 50-year-old Travis Kelce. God knows why. Though he did play well this year, it's time to let go. Time to let go. And everyone thought they were coming. They just need to beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving and they'd still be in it. They'd still be going. And everyone thought they'd figure this out. They always do. They'll figure this out. And they never did. And everyone figured out the code. And everyone figured out the king is dead. And it was ripe for the taking. And that's what everyone did. And it was great. It was beautiful. It made the season so much better seeing the Chiefs fuck up.
Well, I've just finished watching the Super Bowl. I'm currently driving from my mate's place. I've had a couple of beers. And tell you what, that was not worth anyone's time. That was... If you're a Seahawks fan, that's got to be the best Super Bowl you've ever... Not the best, but that would have been a great Super Bowl for you. But Jesus Christ, that's got to be one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life. There was not an ounce, not 1 ounce of any kind of just like cohesive play. The only cohesive play or the only kind of, good play was from the defense, really, at the end of the day. The defense on Seattle and the Patriots were really good. Like, the final score obviously does not reflect what that game was. That game was just a bunch of rubbish. The Patriots offense has been finally found out. Well, the Patriots, Drake May, had a great season, but geez, he was found out this game, and that cupcake run had to end eventually. And I'm just glad it's gone. I'm glad it's done. But what a terrible way to end the year on a year that's been so fucking wild. And you give me that fucking slop, that shit to end the year. It's just disgusting. It's awful. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off the NFL that they let the fucking Patriots and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. It should have been the Rams. It should have been the Bills. It should have been someone who's got some kind of fucking play, some kind of, star players. Yeah, you've got Darnold, but you're JSN, and Darnold's been okay, but they can't let this happen again. So I think you'll find next year's going to be a different year. We will not have these stupid rubbish teams in Super Bowls anymore. It'll be proper all-American teams that we all think deserve to have a Super Bowl shot. So what a way to end the year. Look, it was just anticlimactic as anticlimactic gets. We've all kind of got blue balls by the end of this game, I think, because Jesus Christ, Drake May was seeing proper ghosts. Proper ghosts. Will Campbell, my God, I've never seen a person block worse than Will Campbell has on the biggest stage of them all, man. How many blocks do you want to give away? How many blocks? This game doesn't deserve a lot of my time, any of your time. Seahawks win. I didn't even stay to watch who got Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to assume that Kenny Walker got the Super Bowl MVP because, he did the most. But Christian Gonzalez, man, what a game. What a game he played on a terrible losing team. Just what an incredible game he played. So anyway, look, Patriots lose, Seahawks win. Next year's going to be different. We're not going to have this crap ever again, so hooray for that. And well, to my NFL fans that don't exist, enjoy the off season, enjoy the draft time, enjoy free agency. I will be covering that too, obviously. But yeah, I'm a bit drunk. I'm driving a bit erratically, not erratically, but a bit fast. But anyway, we just want to get home, don't we? Anyway, enjoy. Thank you. Good night.